We okay? No?
Good?
All right.
All right. No, just overall thoughts. Again, man, I think this is a very scrappy team that we got. The kind of the message the past 2 weeks have been about whatever it takes to win, you know. And I tried to challenge them a little bit different about starting fast, jumping out on top of them quick. But you know, like it turned into one of those games where we couldn't find a rhythm at the beginning of the game. Offensively, defensively they're continuing to play lights out the entire game. And very pleased with how we responded in the third quarter, especially with the Nicholls State team that has dominated their opponents in the third quarter. I think it's like, you know, they've been scoring like 43-0 points, you know, in the third quarter. And I thought we took that opening drive and we started putting some things together offensively that I was very pleased with. Again, it was a defensive game. You look at the defense, held to 55 plays, 220 yards. You know, that's some stout defense right there, and you know, creating turnovers at times as well. But again, I can't be more proud of this team and just how they've handled it and just how scrappy they are to just find wins. I know we're banged up a little bit, going 5 straight games, but it comes at a good time. You know, you got 12 days to prepare for a pretty good ULM team coming in on a Thursday night ESPN game, and I think these kids will be excited. I think this whole university will be excited to go and watch our team go out there and compete. But the whole goal was to be 2-0 after tonight, so we're sitting here at 2-0 in our new season that we've been talking about, and couldn't be happy for these kids. So, questions?
You know, offensively, the second half and first half were two completely different situations.
Completely different. What
happened in the locker room? What did you kind of tell them to get that spark?
It was all about who wants it the most. You know, we got to find a way to scrap this one out, and you know, I just knew it was just a matter of time. Our offense was staying patient with it. I thought Twyford kind of set the tone at the beginning of the second half, in terms of how hard he was running the football. But I couldn't be happy with how they finally started having success. You know, you're starting to see signs of the kids move the ball. That's a really good Nicholls State team. You know, I'm sitting there looking at them in warm-ups, and that's a pretty good-looking team for an FCS program. I think they'll make a run at it at the FCS playoffs. But you know, I'm pleased with how the offense just keeps, you know, putting their head down. They keep fighting, they keep working. They ended up putting some drives together and ended up running off a lot of clock in the second half that kept the defense off the field.
Coach, you talk a lot about complementary football. How do you feel like your team did in that respect tonight?
We did well. Again, you know, you look at what we're doing on special teams with Seamus was punting great. He's pinning them in really tough field positions. You know, we block a punt with Mason Hayes. The defense is playing, you know, stout at times, and even when the offense isn't having success, they're still playing at a high level. And then when the defense is actually not playing well, they end up getting a turnover late, you know, in that drive. And you know, we go out with an interception. Can't remember what exactly happened after Gresh's interception. Put him in probably just a field goal range, I think, is what happened on that one. I can't recall off the top of my head, but we're starting to play some pretty good complementary football, and we're going to have to, like I said last week, for us to keep having success and winning games, we got to play complementary football and look forward to 7 more of these type of games where we're going to have to play together and play as one.
Coach, the feeling of winning the paddle and back-to-back wins heading into a bye week.
Yeah, that's probably one of the greatest feelings that you can have as a coach and a team, is having a win going into a bye week, so you don't have to sulk on this, like on a loss for that long. So just having the paddle, you know, with some meaning of it. The kids are running around the locker room with that paddle right now, and just kind of, I think it's a great thing for this university. I'm pretty excited that the paddle's going to stay here in San Marcos for a while. Don't know when we're going to play them again, but at least we could say that we were the last ones to actually win it until the rivalry gets renewed again. But you know, it's pretty cool to be a part of that. You know, whenever there's a trophy in line, that means there's a lot that this university plays for and what it means. So I think the kids are pretty excited in there, trying to create their own traditions in there as well with the paddle. I don't know where that paddle is going to end up tonight, but hopefully we can keep that here. But it's always good going into a bye week as a winner.
You know, after the interception by Gresh, you kept with him, you kept him out there, and he made some pretty big plays. Was that important to you to kind of keep his confidence by not having a short leash on him?
It was, you know, and we told him afterwards that, hey, just stay the course, you know, play the next play. You know, the defense is playing well. We're going to get you the ball back and put you in a better situation. They were doing some good things defensively, hey, coming out and showing things that they've never shown before. Moving in and out of different zone coverages, man coverage looks that they had not shown yet, and they got him. But the thing is he was pretty resilient. He came in terms of he came out in the second half, and he got down to his check down. So we were getting pretty aggressive with the play calls and starting to take some shots down the field, and he ended up getting down to his check downs, and that's all you can ask because he's managing the game and he's doing the right thing. So really pleased with where Gresh is. He's 2-0. He just keeps he just keeps finding a way right now when to find ways to win the game for us.
Coach, offense for Texas State was phenomenal. With you have three.
I wouldn't go phenomenal, but
you have three speed demons on your team. You got Jamari, Cordell, Kelly. What's practice been like with these? What did they rush in? What did they able to get into the pocket and just past defenders?
I think that we've been talking about practicing with a purpose. I think the way you prepare and the way you practice translates into the games. And I thought we turned the heat up on them in the Georgia State week, and then they played with an edge in the Georgia State week. This week was probably one of the better weeks of practice I've ever seen the skill positions have, and I couldn't be more pleased with where they're at. Like Javen Banks, he played extremely well throughout practice, and was happy to see him score. We all say it's because we moved him to number 12, but it's actually because he's putting in a ton of good work, and he's doing great things out there. But Blyford, he's shown to do great things like that. K-Dot, same way. He's going to end up taking a pretty good kick return here, like eventually. We're waiting for that too, but. We still have not figured anything out yet. We've got to keep staying the course. We got to keep getting better throughout this bye week. We got to get healthy, but we got to continue to get better as a team so we can not be playing our best ball right now. We got to be playing our best ball at the end of the season.
Also, you allowed for some easy rushes in the pocket. How do you feel that ULM defense was throughout the game?
You talking about Nicholls State?
Yeah, Nicholls State.
Nicholls State. No, you're good. Nicholls State, their defense, they're doing good. It's a solid team. It's a top 10 FCS team. We knew that they're going to be disruptive. Their defensive line is big and they can move. And we knew that we were going to have some matchups and stuff. And the thing is, we didn't deviate away from the game plan. We kept staying the course until we had success.
Brian London, second play of the game, went out. Came back in, it seemed like he held him out the rest of the way. Is there any concern there? Do you know what his injury is at all?
I don't know. He seemed to be in good spirits on the sidelines. He did. Probably the story of the game is Binky, Markavian Coleman. What he did I thought was unbelievable. I gave him a game ball for, just not blinking, not hesitating. He showed up and went out there and filled the void with Bilo being out there. You talk about our linebacker play all week. They've all been playing, all year. They all play at a high level. Nick Daniels is still playing at an extremely high level and making plays and is kind of the backbone of our defense. But, when you have a great player like Bilo, go down for the game, Binky goes in there and plays extremely well, and it looked like that no one even hesitated, and that you couldn't even tell that Bilo was not out there, which just shows you that we're playing sound defense. We're putting these kids in the right spots.
So you don't think it's anything too serious?
I don't believe so. I don't. I can't really quote on that yet because I don't know. He tells me he's fine, and he stood out there on it the entire second half and really the whole game, in full uniform. So I think it's just something where we can heal him up on the bye week and he should be good.
And Anthony Taylor, he was held out of the game to the running back. Was that from injury from last week? We saw him limping and over last week.
Yeah, that came from last week. He's a tough kid, and he wanted to play. That was actually a game time decision. He came in my office right before the game, said he couldn't do it, and he wanted to, but he's a selfless player. He wants to do what's right for the team, and you'll be like he was really close to playing, so I'd expect him to be playing versus ULM on Thursday. Oh God.
I'm going to jump back over to the offense real quick. Seems like the offense is still struggling. We just came off of two of the statistically worst defenses that we'll face throughout the rest of the season. So how do you fix that? How do you get the offense running in the right direction?
You keep staying the course. We've got a lot to figure out, and that's what I've said before. We're not even close to where we need to be. But the thing is that we won 2 games, based off of put drives together and controlling the line of scrimmage at certain times. We still have a long ways to go, but I think these kids are going to keep figuring it out. We're going to keep getting better. It's all about stacking days. It's all about getting better as a team, and And I think these kids are starting to get an understanding on how we call games and how we do things. So we got to keep getting better every single day.
We talked about how scrappy this team is to you. What do you feel like you learned about this team this game?
They just find a way to win. You look at the first half and it's 3-3, and you look at their eyes in the locker room, and I think they're ready to go back out there and keep playing. These kids truly love to play this game, and when you have kids like that, it typically bounces your way. And you really don't have to say things to them. Like last week at Georgia State, the defense was out on the field a lot, and I told them, I know you guys are tired, and they started yelling at me, and they're like, we're not tired, we're ready to get out there and start playing again. So it shows that these kids are a close team, like I've talked about, and they've been through a lot, and I think that they're just ready to keep playing more games and get out there and see if we can go 3-0. Our goal is going to be 3-0 now.
You've won 2 straight going into the bye week. Where would you feel like this team is at going into the bye week so far?
I think we're in a good spot. Like we went through a rough 3 non-conference game stretch. Those are some solid teams that we played. And we said the new season starts now. Now you're 2-0 going, and the way we talk about our new season and going into a bye week, I think these kids are in good spirits. I'm telling you, when you lose a game going into the bye week, it's one of the worst feelings as coaches and players, because you have to sit on that for such a long time. And I think these kids are excited from their performance. They're happy to win 2 games in a row. I don't know when the last time they won 2 games in a row was, but we got a little win streak going on. I think these kids are excited and something to build off of, but we still got to keep stacking days and keep continuing to get better and make sure that we keep getting healthy as well.
Anything else? Yeah.
Coach, how will preparation be affected by the bye week heading into ULM?
It's kind of one of those odd bye weeks because it's a Thursday night game. So really our Tuesday practice starts next Sunday. So it's more about I'm going to bring them in tomorrow and get the game over with and get some rehab in. Give them off Saturday, and then we'll do some light work on Sunday, and then I'll practice them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Just keep them fresh and keep them in. You can't go a long period of time of just giving these guys time off, because they'll start to lose their edge a little bit. So we're going to be pretty smart with what we do and still utilize this time to get a few days ahead on ULM. I believe ULM, they play tonight, they play next Saturday, and then they have a short turnaround to travel here for a Thursday. So that's a rough stretch for them. So we need to take advantage of making sure we're healthy but staying sharp at the same time.
Anything else, Scott? All right.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Coach.